You are listening to the Iconic Agent New Construction Marketing Podcast.
I'm Nathaniel Crawford.
And I'm Damon Green.
We've helped agents sell over $400 million in new construction since 2020.
And now we're here to skyrocket your sales. Let's build your real estate empire and create the life you deserve. In today's episode, Nate and I discuss why it's super important to double down on your marketing in a down market.
So 30% of agents made at least one transaction or more. More than one transaction in 2024. Which means 70+% did not make any money or only sold one home. So that's a struggle. Stat number one. Stat number two, a majority of agents are not willing to invest in themselves and their businesses. And this is just from what I've seen talking to thousands of agents. But those agents that do are absolutely crushing it. We're in a down market. So, because I'm a marketer, I believe you should be marketing all the time in some way, shape, or form. But I definitely believe you should double down on your marketing now, and for one reason, for the most part. And that is a Warren Buffett quote: be afraid when people are greedy and greedy when people are afraid. Right now, agents are scared. There's a handful that have had their best year. I was talking to Ryan. He's like, this is my best year. Every year in my business, like 20 to 40% increases. He's been marketing. He's not stopping marketing. He's going to continue marketing. Rob is continuing marketing. But because they were marketing prior, they have pipelines. This goes into something else we'll talk about in another podcast, but the longer you wait, the longer it's going to take for you to get the results. So why do you think agents should double down on their marketing now? Because there's more opportunity and less people doing it, in my opinion.
Well, I think there's a layered answer to that. You don't have to double down on your marketing if you never stop your marketing.
Yes,
so
true.
If you people like Rob, people like Ryan, they win because they just they don't stop. Like they're turning.
You don't turn it on and off. It's not a light switch.
It's just a thing. It's just it just always goes. So if you do that, then you always have a pipeline. You always have people coming in. And when the market slows down and maybe that pipeline, that inflow of leads slows down, you have an existing database of people that you can follow up with that offsets the fact that your lead flow got slower.
That's a good point.
That's the thing. I don't think a lot of agents understand that. And then on top of them not understanding that, they think a contraction in the market means there should be a contraction in their marketing, when that's not true.
So let me add to that, because yes, doubling down on your marketing, there's a bunch of different ways to market. Investing in marketing, incoming leads is one thing, but I did a post or something about this a couple weeks ago. You hit a good point. So you keep the leads flowing in, but if you stop the leads flowing in, if you stop investing for some reason, and you have a pipeline, marketing consistently to that pipeline. So one way, shape, or form, if you have a pipeline, you should be doubling down on reaching out to them, because they are not ghosting you. They are not dead leads. You are just forgettable. And if anybody follows us, they know that almost every day we're sending out emails and people don't unsubscribe. They'll respond back like, oh, life is life in. I had this surgery. I did this. Oh, I'm ready to go. Let's go. I've been following for 2 years. I'm finally ready to go. That would not happen. And that's same with real estate. That would not happen if they didn't consistently follow up. So whatever your marketing is, I always recommend doubling down on marketing, period. Keep working your current sphere pipeline. Keep following up with them, and keep the new people coming in, because that's how you keep the pipeline growing. And the only reason agents are really thriving, the ones that have pipelines, they're thriving because they have a pipeline to reach back out to. Even if they shut everything off, they're still working that pipeline. We've got people calling, having ISAs call the people, they're calling people, following back up with them like, oh yeah, I remember you. Well, they wouldn't have remembered you if you didn't follow up.
Yeah, well, that, and one of the other misconceptions there is that all marketing costs money, and all marketing does not cost money. So there are plenty of things that if you get into a position where you can't spend like you were spending on Google Ads or whatever traffic, you can offset a lot of that by just committing to create more content.
Yeah.
Shoot more videos. Send out more emails that are sending people to your videos. Creating that content, creating intentional content that adds value for your clients, sending out emails that point them to those videos that are about the most common questions you get asked. So creating a video is free.
And if you're going to do content and you have a small budget, you have to have some sort of money to invest in yourself. But with $150 a month, you can take that, and this is what Tommy Powers calls content amplification. You take the content you're putting out there is working, and then you boost that, whether you're doing Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or LinkedIn, or YouTube. Put $150 behind that and send that to people that have viewed your content. So now you seem to be everywhere for a small budget. That's going to keep you in front of folks. Then when you can afford to ramp up again, but you got to have some level of investment there to push, because you're taking content and you're pushing that content out to people that have already seen it and some that would have seen it. So you're doing something. It's like compound interest.
If you get to a place where you don't have anything, you have to offset that with volume.
Yes,
that's what it boils down to. Okay, if I can't invest $150, that means you need to be cranking out 100 videos. Like, that's the thing. If you go through a season, life's on you, your car breaks down, something happens, you have to. It's a non-negotiable. Whatever you don't have in money, you have to compensate for in time. And in this case, you have to compensate for in content. So you have to out-content everybody. And the only way to do that is to create a massive amount of content until you get to the place where you can start doing that content amplification again. So we're not saying come into the business with no money, I'm just going to crank out content. You come in with a marketing budget because you're a business owner and businesses have marketing budgets. If something happens and for a period of time, your marketing budget is affected, you have to offset that marketing budget with additional content until your marketing budget comes back. So the way you weather the storm there, if you had a surgery, if somebody got in a car accident or whatever, is you have to be clear that if you're going to continue to build your business and the only thing you have is time, you should be cranking out more content than anybody else in your market.
Yeah.
And if you're not, then you probably shouldn't be selling real estate.
Content, if you're a cold caller, door knock, whatever works for you, like you got to do some sort of market. Content is a great way. My recommendation, do everything that works. That doesn't going to cost you additional money. But you have to do something, because sitting on your hands is not going to help. And that's what a lot of agents like, I'm just going to wait and see, or I'm going to struggle through this. But I don't think when we stop and say, I'm just going to wait and see, I don't think people think about what that really means. That means you're stopping everything you're doing, expecting something to come in, and that's not how it works. You have to do some work, put some effort in order to get it to work. And that is what marketing is. Like, no business, I'm not even going to get semantics there, but as a real estate agent, you cannot survive without marketing. You're always marketing yourself, so you have to double down on your marketing, whatever that is, in order to get through the tough times. Or, dip into savings, credit cards, and live off whoever you're living off of until it gets better. That's an option. Not one I recommend, but, to each his own.
Do what is required until you can do what you want to do.
Thanks for tuning in to the Iconic Agent New Construction Marketing Podcast for Realtors. Subscribe now on your favorite podcast player. Visit theIconicAgent.com and grab the new construction buyer traction blueprint. And don't forget, join the 5,000 plus strong new construction marketing community at www.theIconicAgent.com/community. Catch you on the next episode.